The only thing better than a bed made for a queen is a matching nightstand.
Made by two queens.
I see what you did there.
So we've built this rustic, modern queen bed, and we needed a nightstand to match it.
Yes, so this is gonna be big and beefy and beautiful, but it's got those modern lines, that rustic touch. It's perfectly shanty. All right, so before we get started, make sure you go download and print the free plans. We've added a link to our website below where you can grab those.
It's got the supply list and everything that you need to build this. So we've built a lot of nightstands. What is the difference with this one?
Well, it's very rustic, yet it's got a modern line to it. So, you know, I think we probably ought to call it the modern rustic nightstand.
I like that name.
Let's build it.
Let's build it.
So basically what we're gonna be doing is building a front and a back that are very identical, and then we're also gonna build two sides, and then we'll join it together. So, you wanna show them this is actually the back. There's the back. We're gonna call this a face frame, and this is what we're about to build.
So this face frame is constructed with 2x4s, and we have run them through our table saw to rip off the round edges on each side. It makes them 3 inches wide. If you don't know how to rip off the edges of your 2x, then check out the video. We will link it in the description box below and in the corner.
And sometimes people will ask us, can I build it if I can't do that? And you absolutely can. You just need to take measurements into consideration because it will be a little bit bigger.
We do this just because it looks clean and modern, and it gives a look that it's not made with 2x4s as much as if it had rounded edges.
That's right. Okay, so our taller boards are going to be first. Remember, you can download the free plans on our website. We'll be adding that below. We will be attaching the horizontal boards using 2.5-inch pocket hole screws and wood glue. So, Ash, you can do the honors since you're on that side.
I'll do it.
All right, so we are just gonna be attaching the legs of our nightstand on this face frame to the horizontal boards, and you just want it to, on this first board, line up flush with the top. And Ashley's lucky because she got the right side, so I'm gonna be drilling with my left hand, which can be precarious at times.
We actually always shoot on the same sides. I'm always on this side. Actually, when we're doing our how-tos, I'm always on this side, I think, and you're always on that side, but then when we do our interviews, we switch. It's all part of my evil shanty plan.
We have lots of those.
Yeah, we do.
It's like Pinky in the Brain. Trying to take over the world. Okay, so our first board is flush, and then let's flip this around. Our bottom board, that was loud. Our bottom board is going to be 2.5 inches up from the base, so we've marked that right there. And we're adding glue to each side, and we'll line that up and attach those with the 2.5-inch pocket hole screws.
You could turn it and use your right hand.
You know, Ashley, I just like to show off. So as much as I appreciate that idea, I'm just going to show off.
And just like that, we have a face frame.
Now, the only difference, so we're gonna build 2 of these. You're gonna have a front and a back. The only difference is on our front piece, we're gonna have 1 extra board, and that's what we're doing right now. This is a 2x2 board. You can buy these at the hardware store. We like to cut our own because it does save money, and they're also a lot easier to make good and straight and pretty.
You can buy 2x2 furring strips at the hardware store, but those are rounded, and a lot of times they're just wonky and crazy.
Like me, wonky and crazy.
They call her Wonky Whitney.
Okay, so we're gonna add a little bit of glue to each end. And I might have to use a mallet because my cuts are so dang on. I don't wanna hurt your finger. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, so this is gonna be the opening. We're actually creating the opening for a drawer that we're gonna add in the next step. So go ahead and attach that with 2.5-inch pocket hole screws.
Bam.
Bam, bam. Monu. And then this one right here. All right, so our face frame is done. Vanna will do the honors. And you can see we've got our spot for our drawer, and then the bottom is gonna be open. So front and back are done. Let's move on and build our sides. Now, our sides are gonna look like this. And we also are gonna have 1 pocket hole on each side of the front, which this is the front. I'm calling this the front, it's actually the side, but it's the outside. So let's build that.
All right, so this is just a 3/4 sheet of plywood. We've already drilled 3/4-inch pocket holes on the back side of this side piece.
Oh my gosh, that's plywood, what?
This is plywood.
So this is hardwood plywood, which is a little bit different. It's got a veneer on the front to make it really pretty, and it stains pretty. So that's what we're gonna be using. And we're gonna be attaching the 2x2 board. Do you wanna grab the shanty cam while we attach this so we can show them? We are gonna be adding the drawer support. So this is what we're actually gonna be attaching our drawer slides to. Shanty cam, Yash, I'm gonna show them. So we are going to put a line of wood glue right here. And then we are going to attach our, and I've already drawn my line to make sure I get it nice and flush, because that's always important. So we're gonna attach it right here using 2-inch stack screws and wood glue. Got it, perfect.
Okay, so now we've got both of our sides done, our front and back face frames, so let's attach everything.
Yes. So a key on this part is to use spacers, which actually we're gonna end up using in a later step. She was serious, she's putting everything on the table right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and take one of these off.
Go big or go home.
Okay, so what we're gonna do first is put these spacers. These are just 3/4-inch boards. We're actually gonna use them for trim too, so they kind of serve two purposes. And we are gonna set these under our board right here to attach our back. Let's start with the back, why not? Now, one thing we wanna remember on the back is that our pocket holes are going to face back, because you will see the edge of this when you're looking forward. So we just wanna add a line of wood glue. I'm gonna let Ash do that while I hold it.
Holding for shanty cam.
Let's show them what we're doing right here.
All right, we are going to draw a line, We're going to apply a thin line of wood glue to the side of the plywood. And then we're going to line this up flush with the top of the face frame. Then we're gonna follow with 2-inch pocket hole screws into the back of the face frame.
Okay, so we've got these pocket holes attached. We want to go ahead and attach those that we made on the other side. So we're going to lay it on its end.
All right, so this is the side.
And I'm just attaching those 2-inch screws right here as well.
That's that one extra pocket hole.
That's right. One side's done. Let's turn it around and attach the other side. All right, now we want to be sure that the top runner is facing up, because you want to make sure your sides are built for your drawer the correct way. I'm adding a line of wood glue. Now I know I want this to line up 3/4 inch over. So I'm gonna use those spacers again, but I'm gonna use them this direction because it's just a little bit easier. Got it totally flush, ready to go. We're attaching with 2-inch pocket hole screws and wood glue. All right, we've got those done. Now remember, we're gonna come down on this end for that one pocket hole screw that we have facing this way. I use my spacer to make sure I'm good and flush with that side right there. And then we will attach it with the same screw. Awesome. All right, now we're ready to add our base. It's all about that base.
Okay, so we've got this turned around so that we can add the base. And the base is just another 3/4 sheet of hardwood plywood. And we have drilled 3/4-inch pocket holes all the way around. We're gonna make sure that those face down when we attach them.
So we're gonna add a line of wood glue there.
I'm attaching these sides with 1 1/4-inch pocket hole screws.
Having to use your left hand there, huh?
You wouldn't even know it, right? Both sides are done. Now let's do the bottom, and we're gonna use 2-inch pocket hole screws for those. All right, last screw. So now I think we need to move it to the floor.
I know. I think our height is becoming a challenge.
Challenge.
Short probs. All right, let's get this moved. All right, so we have moved this nightstand to the ground because we have short girl probs, and we have faced the back to the ground, and now we're gonna attach this front face frame. So a couple important things to remember. Pocket holes are going to face down on this part.
And the top is going to be flush with the plywood, just like we did the back.
All right, I'm adding a line of wood glue. Now, we just want, just like before, we're gonna line this up. We want it flush with the top, and I'm also gonna go grab that spacer real quick to make sure that we're 3/4 inch off. All right, and we should be good right there. All right, we've got it totally flush, and now we're going to attach it using our pocket hole screws. Remember that on this part right here, you're going to use 2-inch screws, and on your sides, you want to use 1 1/4-inch screws.
Shanty tip, if you need another hand to get this flush, you can use a face clamp. We love these Craig Jig face clamps. And I'm doing this right now just to get that bottom super flush with the horizontal board on the bottom. This bottom plywood piece, we want this to be super flush, and you can see there's a little edge right there. We don't like that. Tip is to use a Craig Jig face clamp. We love these guys. We will link to them in the description box below, but we use these as like an extra hand. We also use the face clamps to plank tabletop boards together.
All right, so she's got face clamp on, and now we're putting in that pocket hole.
All right, so now we've got the base attached to the front and the back face frames and the side pieces. So now it's time to build the drawer. Woo-hoo.
Okay, so we have the base of our nightstand built, and now we're gonna build the drawers. This is an easy thing to do, guys.
Our drawer is designed and built with 1/2-inch hardwood plywood, and it's just 4 pieces for the outside drawer, and it's gonna be 2 long pieces with the short pieces on the inside.
Easy peasy. All right, so let's build this box first.
Okay.
And we're using our 18-inch brad nailer with 1 1/4-inch brad nails.
And I'm putting the rougher cut. Sometimes the plywood will splinter a little bit when you cut it with the saw. I'm gonna put those on the outside so that the inside of our drawer is really smooth. If you don't have a nailer, you can use a hammer and nails too. We're using 1 1/4-inch brad nails with wood glue. I'm gonna move my hand out of the way. All right.
Okay, so now we're gonna flip this up. I'm gonna add glue on both of these ends, and we will set the longer side, our last and final drawer side, face up on it. Just make sure it's nice and flush, and we will get it nailed together. All right, now we're gonna flip this up on its end right here. And Ash, you wanna do a line of wood glue? What we're doing here is adding the base of our drawer, which is also hardwood plywood, but it is 1/4-inch thick into bottom drawer. And I always like to pick the prettier side of the two, which actually both of these are quite nice. How does one decide? I'll go this way.
Oh, choices.
I know. So we're going to lay it on top. You want to make sure it's totally flush. If you have any overhang at all, you want that to be the back of the drawer, because you definitely want one side flush that will serve as the front of our drawer. We are attaching this with 18-gauge staples. Why do we use staples, Ash?
We use staples when we use thinner material, like this 1/2-inch plywood, because it grabs the plywood. If you don't have staples, you can get a cheap staple gun at like Hobby Lobby if you want, or you can just use nails. We just prefer to use these staples.
All right, so we have our drawer built, and now we are going to attach our drawer slides. So we're moving on to attaching the drawers, which can be one of the most stressful and annoying parts of building one of these pieces.
But we have a shanty secret, and it is the Craig Jig drawer slide jig.
So it's one of our favorite things to use when doing this. It really just takes the guesswork out of attaching the drawer, and it gives you basically an extra set of hands.
And if you're scared of doing drawers, that is okay, because it is one of the most tricky parts of building furniture that we encounter, and we've been building for like 10 years. So
yes,
it is okay to be scared of drawers.
Most definitely. So these come with 2 sides. It comes with an A and a B. Your A is gonna be on this side, B's on this side, but then you're gonna flip them around when you do the drawer. So it's got these great little guides. It works really great with the 3/4-inch face frame, but we're still gonna make it work with ours as well. And you're going to line it up. So this guy right here is flush with the top of our face frame, and then the other one's flush up against the side of the face frame. Okay. All right, so I've got this clamped in place, and because we're using 2x4s for our face frame, it's thicker. We've added a little spacer to help hold it in place. And what this has done is given us a surface to put our drawer slide on. These Euro drawer slides are freaking awesome, guys. And I found them so inexpensively for drawer slides on Amazon. So I will definitely be linking to those for you. And they've got 2 sides. So you always want your metal little L facing the front, But when you pull this drawer slide out, you want this flat side to be facing the inside, and that kind of helps you decide which side it should be on. So this is going to be for that side, and I'm going to pull out this guy, and he's for this side. So we're going to fully extend it all the way out, and we're going to set it in place. Now, because the front of our drawer is going to be flush with the front, I've marked 3/4 of an inch back, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in place. And then I'm going to grab the drill and attach the drawer slide into that spot. Awesome, so I've got my first one done. I'm going to go ahead and attach the back one back there. Now I'm going to take side B and attach it the same way. So we have our drawer slides attached now, and we're going to flip the drawer jigs around B to A, and that will help us attach our drawer to the slides. So we've got these great guides again, and now that we flipped it around, this one's going to sit right on top, and then this other one is going to sit flush flat against the face frame, and I'm going to use my clamp again. Bam, there it is. So we have our 2 jigs attached, we have our drawer sides fully extended, and now we're going to bring the drawer in with the front facing forward and just lay it on top of, you want it in between your drawer slides, so you may have to pull just a little bit, and sitting on top of the jig as well.
It's like an extra hand for you.
It is, and then we're going to fully make sure again that we're fully extended, because you want your drawer front flush with the front of that drawer slide. Got it?
Got it.
Okay, now we're going to attach it. How easy was that? Now we're attaching this final screw, and you can see the drawer jig is holding up our drawer, and I mean, how cool is that contraption, guys? It just made installing this drawer so stinking easy.
All right, so we have the drawer done, and this obviously doesn't look very good right now because it's just 1/2 inch plywood. So what we do at this point is we cut down the drawer face. This is on the supply list and the cut list, and this is gonna fit just inside and make it look really pretty, like a pretty drawer, but you wanna make sure that there's even spacing around all sides.
So we like to use a little trick called pennies to do our spacers. Now I'm looking at it, how many do you think? Are you thinking 1?
Maybe 1.
Let's try 1 first.
2.
We're gonna need 2, but that's the great thing about using pennies as spacers, is that you can kind of decide how many or how few you need.
And then
Does
we
that
can
make us pretty
eyeball,
even?
we can eyeball the sides. And you want to give about 1/8 of an inch all the way around.
Yes, so once we figure out where we want it, we're gonna add some wood glue and then clamp it in place, and we can go ahead and attach it. All right, so I'm gonna add wood glue to the front of this drawer that we just built. Added our spacers, 2 pennies on each side. All right, now I'm gonna use my clamp again. Once we figure out where we want it, that'll just give us an extra hand. Okay, so we've got that all clamped up, and now we're just using 1-inch nails from the inside of our drawer and into the drawer face. All right, so now our drawer is done. It's time to add the top and then the side trim, and then we're done. Yes, that's right, and the back.
And the back.
Forget the back. Don't forget the back. Okay, so we're attaching the top now. This is a project panel. These come in several different sizes. I got mine at Lowe's, and it's 24 by 36 inches wide, but I used my table saw to rip it down because I wanted this top to be totally flush. I think it keeps it very modern looking. This is 3/4 of an inch thick, so let's...
Young and modern.
Yeah, that's right.
Like Whitney.
And we're gonna add wood glue and just nail from the top into the whole side, all the way around.
The whole shebang.
The whole shebang. Okay, now what we're gonna be doing is adding those side trims that have been our spacers, our loyal spacers the whole time. And I'll go ahead and turn it this way so we can show them. One's gonna be flush at the top, and the other,
we're gonna need a mallet.
They're gonna be very tight, yes. One's gonna be flush at the bottom.
All right, wood glue on the back side of this trim, and we are gonna have to mallet this guy in.
Which is never a bad thing. So we love mallets, and to us it shows how good our cut was.
Also, we will link in the description box below the set of mallets that we use.
The white ones I love because they don't scuff up your pieces as you're building.
We're just gonna pop a few nails in.
Just gonna pop it like it's hot, guys.
Pop it like it's hot.
And then we have this one right here. Add wood glue. Now, look how cool this is as I cover it up with the nailer. Now look how great this is, guys. Remember those pocket holes that we added earlier? This piece is going to cover it, so you just want it flush with the base.
You knocked the nail.
I am sorry. And add a few. I don't know why that's okay. All right,
That is done.
awesome. Now let's flip this around and add them to this side.
Okay, trim's on. Let's turn it around to the back, finally.
Now, the back's gonna be that same 1/4" material that we used for the bottom of our drawer. And we're going to add glue just on the edge. I have everything over here, I'm sorry. There's that.
Just means I don't have to do
I
anything.
know.
All right, I'm adding glue to the back 1/4" panel, and because it's a 1/4" panel, we are using staples to attach it.
Because it just grabs them, right, Ash?
It grabs it.
Grabs it. Okay, awesome. So let's flip it around and show it to them.
Now, the bottom's open, so we put the back on before we added the hardware because we can just slide it out right here underneath. No big deal.
Some things I love about this thing. I love the drawer on top because you can hide all your junk in there.
I love the clean lines on the 2x4s.
And that hardware is so darn cute. So this hardware we found on Amazon, and I think the pull just makes this piece.
This is one good looking nightstand too.
Yes, it is built by 2 queens.
If you want to get all the details for how we finished it, what hardware we used, how we attached that hardware, just get the link in the description box below because we've covered that on our website.
And thanks for stopping by, guys. We can't wait to see what you built, so be sure to send all those pictures to us and subscribe. You do not want to miss a video we have for you.
Happy building!
So the only thing better than a queen, sorry.
And this is just designed with 2, and this is designed with, and this is a sorry.
Well, that's good. Just like that. Did I ever?
Hey, it worked! It went through.
What the what? Oh, it's 1/2" plywood, not.
Oh, and you're out of staples.
Of course I am. Of course I am.
Hold for staples. Do, 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 do.
Nobody loves me. Excuse her. You're so mature.
I'm attaching these sides with 3/4" oh my gosh. I'm attaching these sides with 1 1/4.
Try that again.
Too tight,
Is that the trash guy?
I guess.
He always comes at the best time.